Hello everyone, happy Monday. Once again, I'm here in the office on a Monday evening, and I wanted to come on and do my weekly Bobcast. As you can see by the title of tonight's Bobcast, it's Be the Change. Now, what do I mean by that? Everyone's heard, I'm sure, the saying, be the change you want to see in the world. And that simply means that what you focus on, you get more of. So people are constantly complaining about people are so mean, people are so this, people are so that. And what you give out, you get back. Okay? How many people, for example, do you know constantly complain about the people at work, at school, at the social club they belong to? Wherever they're going, whatever they have going on, they're always complaining about the people. They're always complaining about the negativity, or they're mean, or whatever term they use. And now I'm talking about coworkers and friends, people that you can distance yourself from at the end of the day. Some people work in extremely negative environments. Trust me. Police officers, corrections officers, nurses, school teachers. They work in some really, really negative environments, okay? But the people that they work with, or if it's a social club, the people they associate with, if they're negative, if they're mean, if they're not the kind of people that make you feel great, then you need to think about that, because you can tell a lot about a person by who they associate with. Okay? So what I mean by is after work, who they hang out with, who they spend most of their time with. That's why they have the sayings, misery loves company, and cable guys, Daryl. I don't know about that. I got rid of TV in my house, so I don't deal with those people. Unless you mean the cable guys around negativity. But that's why you have the sayings, misery loves company, or success breeds success. Because, see, people are attracted, we're drawn to people of like mind. And that's fine if you're happy about it. It only becomes a problem when you change your mind about things, okay? So, for example, if you are constantly around negative people, okay, constantly around people that are just always griping and complaining and negative or not going anywhere, and you decide that you want more out of life, that you want to start to live life to the fullest, well, only one of two things can happen. Either you need to leave that group, or as you try to better yourself or try to improve your life, that group will leave you. Those are just the facts. Those are the only two things that can happen other than you staying the way you are. So if you decide you want to make a change, if you decide you want to start a business, hi Stacy. If you decide you want to start a business, if you decide you want to go back to school, if you decide you're not happy with the way your life is, then the group that you're hanging around is either going to leave you, or you're going to have to leave that group. You can't, it just doesn't work if you stay in that group. Okay? Couple of quick examples. I've been reading a book. In fact, before I give you these examples, let me stop and tell you how to reach out to me. Okay? On Facebook, it's Bob Norman. My business page is Buff Monkey Marketing. On Twitter, it's at Buff_Monkey. On Instagram, it's Buff_Monkey. And my email is Buff_Monkey@Reagan.com. And on YouTube, it's Big Norm 1963. So I've been getting a lot of feedback, like I say all the time. I appreciate it. Comments on this. In fact, I'd like to ask everyone, if you enjoy these Bobcasts, if you would share them, please, on your page on Facebook. It would be greatly appreciated, or retweet them, or whatever social media outlet you prefer. So reach out, feedback, topic suggestions. So I'm reading a book, or I just finished reading a book a while back by a guy named Eric Worre, and he's a businessman. And he talks about when he decided to start his own business, how he really didn't know what he was doing, and he was just a $5 an hour guy, so you can tell it was a while back. He was just a $5 an hour guy, and unfortunately for him, he didn't have any connections because all of his friends were $5 an hour people. So none of them were going to have connections. None of them were going to have any experience about business or what he wanted to get involved in. So he had to find other people to associate with. And that doesn't mean you don't love your friends, and that doesn't mean that you dislike them or anything. But it just means he had to find some other people to associate with so that he could get where he wanted to be. Another quick example, I remember it's a couple years ago, my mom asking me what I was doing. And I had decided I was going to watch the Pens game that night. And she said, "Oh, you're going to the club." I used to belong to a couple of social clubs and athletic clubs in the area. And my answer to her was, "No, I haven't been there a few years." And she asked why. And my comment to her, and take this for what you will, was when you go in there, it's always the same guys sitting on the same bar stool with a cigarette and a beer, complaining about the Steelers, complaining about the coal mines, complaining about this, complaining about that. Okay? I didn't want that environment every day, every day, every day. Okay, I said in my last podcast about people sitting in front of the television watching other people climb mountains and skydive or do whatever, they go on nice vacations, whatever they're doing, instead of turning the TV off and going out and doing it themselves. They sit there and live vicariously through those people. So those are the examples. And I'll give you one more example. I started working with a new business partner, and we actually met because she responded to one of these podcasts. I had talked about a personal growth journey, and we got to talking about life and business and things like that. And I mentioned to her that her life was going to be so much better in a year because she met me. And I didn't mean that in an arrogant way, but what I meant by that was because she was now going to be around successful, positive people, and I knew what it had done for me in my life. So I just know what the end result's going to be. See, you have to be around people who inspire you, people who challenge you to be better than you are, or people who are already the type of person you want to be, or at a success level in whatever area it is you want to be. You have to be around those people. Do you ever see my saying on here that you can't have $1 million lifestyle with a minimum wage work ethic? I can't put it any simpler than that. Okay? So if you keep thinking that there must be more to life than this, you have to understand that there is. Okay? But you have to stop being comfortably miserable, and you have to step out of your comfort zone. If not, you'll never know what life had in store for you, what life had to offer you. Okay? If you're religious at all, if you're spiritual at all, we say that God has given everyone a gift. You just have to unwrap that gift. Or Steve Harvey says you have to jump off the cliff and take a chance once in a while. So the other day I posted on social media that you attract what you are, not what you want. Now that can be, if you want to be something more than you are, that means that you have to find out what that looks like, and you have to kind of become that person. Even if it's, again, I'm just going to use a business example. Maybe you're not at the level of success that you want to be, but when you hang around people that are there, you start to do the things they do. You start to see the kind of people they are. Maybe they're more charitable than you've been, or maybe they are, or maybe they read and you don't read, and you'll pick up a lot of great habits from these people. So when I say that you attract what you are, not what you want, I mean that you have to become what you want to become. And a dear friend of mine said to me on one of the social media sites, she said, "So what does that say about me? Because I keep attracting knuckleheads," meaning boyfriends. And that doesn't mean that you're a knucklehead necessarily, but it could possibly mean you need to look in the mirror and realize that you're accepting knuckleheads in that case, in that example. Because we do teach people how to treat us by what treatment we accept from them. And keep in mind that what you focus on, going back to the negative people and all that, what you focus on, you'll get more of. Okay, so if you focus on negativity, like I said, working in prison, police officers, nurses, and things like that, you're in a really negative environment. You really have to work not to become like that environment. It's a very difficult task, as anybody who's ever worked in those fields or other fields like them. Even school teachers sometimes, it's the same kind of thing in that. but you really have to work at not letting that environment totally change the kind of person you are. So if you're complaining, I'm going to finish up with a saying here, but if you're complaining about what life's doing for you, or not doing for you, if you are constantly around negative people, here's what I want you to do. I want you to take a look at the people around you, the people you spend most of your time with. Like I said, it happened to me. People that I love, I haven't seen or heard from in 4 or 5 years. Okay? And it's okay because I'm on my own journey. But take a look at the people you spend most of your time with and understand that that's where you are, that that's where you're going to be. So if you want to change, if you're not happy with that group, understand you're going to have to change the people you hang around. And sometimes it happens just kind of by osmosis, for lack of a better term, as you try to improve and as you start to hang around people you're trying to emulate. You'll see that your circle changes. Okay, it's just automatic. But take a look at the people that you spend most of your time with, and take a look at the places that you spend most of your time. My example about the club. Okay, when those guys are down there talking about the Steelers, complaining about the football season, about the coal mines, where I was out in the Rocky Mountains, or I was at the beach, or I was living life. Okay, and that's what I wanted. I didn't want to be that guy that sat there and when I was 80 years old I looked back on life and regretted never having tried anything or never having experienced anything. Okay, so I'm going to leave everybody. Remember to reach out to me, and please, like I said, if you enjoy these Bobcasts, please share them on your Facebook page or retweet them on Twitter. Whatever you can do, I would greatly appreciate it. I'd like to get some of these out there. I'm going to finish up with a saying from someone that I just really love. Charlie Brown. Charlie Brown said, if you become a better person, you'll have a better life. Think about it. I posted something on Facebook this morning that talked about your inner life determines your outer life. So if you become a better person, you'll have a better life. So says Charlie Brown. Everyone have a great Monday evening. Thanks for tuning in. Keep up the feedback. Keep up the great the emails and the topic suggestions. And again, please share my Bobcasts on your Facebook page if you would, or retweet them on Twitter if you get a chance. It'd be greatly appreciated. I'd like to get these out there. Thanks, and have a great evening, everyone.